Hi, my name is Sharee Wilson, and I would like to welcome you to Seasoned Citizens Present. I am the new County Resource Coordinator for the Commission on Aging here in Muscatine County. Although I'm probably a new face to most of you, I'm not exactly a stranger to the area. I grew up in Columbus Junction and have lived in Wapello for the past 5 years. I began working with the Commission on Aging in July of this year, and I'm enjoying getting to know all of you better. Today we're here to tell you about one of the Commission on Aging's annual programs, the Well Elderly Clinic. With us today is Carolyn Campbell. Carolyn wears 2 hats for the Commission on Aging. She serves as both the Activities Coordinator and as the Outreach Visitor for the Commission. This is Carolyn's 2nd year in helping to organize the Well Elderly Clinic. Carolyn, can you tell us exactly what the Well Elderly Clinic is?
The Well Elderly Clinic is a 1-hour health screening for people 60 and over and who live in Muscatine County. The screening is done at Muscatine General Hospital. This program is not new to Muscatine County. It has been in existence for 4 years. The first year we served over 120 people. This year we have filled already 192 openings with a waiting list for people wishing to be served. We have a lot of people who return year after year, but we also have a nice influx of new people, and which is nice because that shows that we're serving more and more people in Muscatine County. The Muscatine General Hospital provides the facilities and staff, and Band-Aid Corporation underwrites the funding. The Commission on Aging does a coordination of the program, and we do the taking of appointments, and like today, we let you people know about it.
Okay. You said that people 60 and over are eligible to participate.
Correct.
Okay, and it's not limited to people just in the city of Muscatine.
All of Muscatine County.
Okay. That's a good benefit for people who live out in the rural areas, especially. They aren't as close to a health center. Is there a cost for the people who participate?
That's one of the really nice things about this. With Band-Aid Corporation and the hospital and the commission sponsoring this, there's no out-of-the-pocket expense at all. And you have 1 hour with a health care professional. They do a extensive health screening. They go over your medication. It's you and one-on-one with a health person.
You don't get that always when you pay money for it.
Right.
Can you tell me how long the program has been in existence in Muscatine?
The program started in 1984, and this is our 4th year. And I think I wish I was eligible for it. It's just a nice chance to really ask some questions that you tend to forget. You forget your note when you go to the doctor, or he starts talking about something and you're not really sure about it. And sometimes a doctor can be intimidating, where with a healthcare person, you can sit down and go over these questions over and over again with them.
Okay. Do you know how many people participated in the program the first year?
120.
Okay.
And we've, like I said, we've expanded to 192, and we have a very long waiting list. So we're hoping that we can even expand the program farther with different fundings from different areas.
Okay. How is the scheduling set up?
There are 24 appointments in a day.
Mm-hmm.
They start at 9 o'clock and run every hour. And there are nurses that take you every hour. And you just come in, there'll be signs posted in the hospital. And it's usually at the short stay unit at the hospital. They'll take blood work and urine analysis and run through the tests through the lab.
In other words, they have 4 different rooms for people. They can serve
Correct.
4 people each hour.
At one time.
Okay. I understand that they have a van that comes in from the outer communities.
Right. There's special days set aside for those people that live in West Liberty and Wilton, excuse me. And they can schedule their clinic on those days so they don't even have to drive into town. It's just a nice service provided.
That's nice. You said that a lot of people come back year after year
Mm-hmm.
to the clinic. Do they perform the same tests every year then?
In the past, we performed the same test. This year, we're adding a hearing screening also. So it's getting more and more extensive as the years go on. The physical includes a heart and lung sound assessment, blood pressure, and weight and medication screening. Plus, the laboratory test includes a complete blood count and a urine analysis, and an SMA-23 blood serum. The SMA-23 is a group of general chemical testing, including kidney function tests, electrolyte balance tests, and phosphate, calcium and sodium, potassium and chloride testing. So you find out whether you're getting enough chemicals in your body to sustain it. And then these chemicals are normally found in a well-balanced diet.
Okay. You said that people could take their medications along. Is this correct? And they will explain exactly what the medications...
A problem with a lot of people, they see more than one physician for different things. And they don't always take their list of medication to each doctor. So when they take their list of medications from everybody that they're seeing to the healthcare person, then they will go over them with them and explain to them that some drugs have to be taken at a certain time, and some by milk, some by mouth, and which scheduling. And then they may even find that some of the drugs that they are taking are not compatible with another drug. And the healthcare person will go over that with them too.
There's also some drugs, I understand, that have side effects, and they'll explain those, I assume.
Right.
Now, you said that the sponsors of the Well Elderly Clinic are the Commission on Aging and Bandag Incorporated and the hospital,
Correct.
Muscatine General Hospital. It sounds as though the Well Elderly Clinic is a program that many area seniors have become dependent on for good health care. Also with us today is Gary Carlson. Gary Carlson is the Personnel Vice President from Bandag Incorporated. Gary, can you tell us how Bandag became involved with the Well Elderly Clinic?
Well, Bandag has a history of doing a number of programs with elderly people in the community, and we're very interested in doing that, providing better quality of life for our senior citizens, both in Muscatine and the county of Muscatine. We talked to the Commission on Aging about programs that would be somewhat unique, but would also provide that better quality of life. One of the things that is missing so often for people is preventive medical care, and that's really the purpose of the Well Elderly Clinic. We want people to get advice before they have some type of catastrophic illness. There are other programs available once someone has had a catastrophic illness, but unfortunately that's after they've had problems with their health, and oftentimes they've had real financial problems. We think if we can get more people to take advantage of the Well Elderly Clinic, their chances of living healthy and independently in the future are far greater.
I think it's very commendable that Bandag goes out of the way to help a section of society that isn't employed by them anymore. I'm sure that you have several past employees who probably participate in the program by now.
Well, we're still a relatively young company, and we don't have a lot of retirees, but we do employ over 700 people in this area, and certainly the retirees that exist today, many of them have family members that work for us, and we consider that all really part of our part of the community.
Okay. Muscatine General Hospital is one of the sponsors of the program, and one way that they sponsor the Well Elderly Clinic is by providing facilities. They provide all the testing, and they provide the healthcare professionals who meet with the people for the consultations. Carolyn has told us a little bit about what tests are involved at the Well Elderly Clinic. Carolyn, we were talking earlier today, and you said that all of the testing is done in one area, so that people don't have to shuffle back and forth around the hospital.
Right. It's nice because they take the time, they relocate everything into the short stay unit at the hospital, and you don't have to wait for x-rays or lab work. They'll do it while you're talking to the healthcare person. So you're not alone that whole hour. You have someone working with you and talking with you the whole time.
Okay. Where is the short care unit?
It's behind the emergency care unit at Muscatine General. There'll be signs clearly posted, so when you come into the hospital, the front door entrance is what they'd like you to come into. They will guide you around to the other side. and there'll be someone waiting there for you.
Okay. Is there any preparation that people should have as far as attending the clinic?
There's really no advanced preparation other than taking a first morning urine sample. And if you forget to do that, that's okay too, because they'll take one when you get there. You don't have to fast. You can have your normal breakfast. And just remember to tell the person what you had for breakfast when you go in.
One of the things that the people from the Well Elderly Clinic get is a phone call the day before their appointment.
That's
correct?
right. I get a call, which makes another nice contact, and I remind them of their appointment and remind them to take their list of medications, and if they have a chance to take their first morning urine specimen along with them.
Something else they might want to take along is a list of questions about some health problems they might be having.
Correct. So from the time they make their first appointment would be the time to be thinking about some of the things that have concerns about. Write them down on a piece of paper and take them with you, and they will be fully covered in your visit.
Okay. You said that the healthcare professionals at the hospital conduct the testing and consultations.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that confidentiality is a big factor.
That's one of the nice things about this. Usually, you know, when you go to a clinic or something, you think everybody in the world knows your business. This is not the case. And only upon your request will they send a copy of your results to your own doctor.
Okay.
And they make those results available to you at that time of the visit.
Okay. If you have an abnormal test result, do they point those out to you right away?
They will cover those things with you and offer suggestions and options available. The hospital isn't looking for problems, which is the nice thing, but they're looking to make sure that you have a better overall health. And if an abnormal test has shown up, they will tell you what you can do about it and where to go to get the help to correct the problem. And most problems can be corrected with just a modification in diet.
Okay, that's nice to know that they can give you hints that you can correct things without a lot of added cost.
Right.
If a person goes to the Well Elderly Clinic and there is an abnormal result, does that bind them in any way to further their care with Muscatine General Hospital?
No, it doesn't. The nice thing about this, there's no papers you have to sign. Just show up for your appointment on time, and you're not bound by any results that you receive to further medical services. But we hope you do, that you will go to your own physician and get the problem taken care of promptly. You've made the first step. Do the follow-through, too.
It's nice that Muscatine General will work with the patient's regular doctors, if that need be. We find that many illnesses exhibit symptoms, do not exhibit symptoms maybe, before they're detected on the test. And that's one good thing about the test, is that they can find things before they develop into worse problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's apparent that Muscatine General is a vital sponsor then to the Well Elderly Clinic. They donate their time, their facilities, and their personnel. Carolyn, when are the Well Elderly Clinics going to be held this year?
There are every Tuesday in September. And like I said, they're scheduled 1-hour appointments, and 4 people will be taken each time. They start the very first Tuesday in September. And like I said, we're already filled this year. But the reason why we're running this program is we want you to keep it in mind for next year. And we have programs and ideas being planned all the time to accept more and more people. So our goal is that no one will be refused an appointment.
Okay. That's nice, too.
I might add that that's also BANDAG's goal. We've increased the amount of testing at the program, and we would like to see this as a program that continues well into the future, and we're willing to even support it even more.
Okay. I understand that BANDAG has increased their donation as the need be, as the more people showed up each year for the clinics. So, registration for the clinics, we might point out, is through the Commission on Aging office. So that in the future, if people would like to participate in future clinics, that they'll know where to call.
There are no walk-in appointments, unfortunately, but this assures you a full hour with a healthcare person. If we accepted walk-ins, you would never know exactly how many people were coming. And your hour might be cheated. So we want you to call us ahead of time and make the appointment.
Okay. Besides working with the Well Elderly Clinic, Carolyn has several other jobs too. She plans some of the trips for the Commission on Aging, and she recently took a spelling bee team to the state fair. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
It's very, very interesting. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of nice wearing two hats for the commission. I see the people on a professional basis and then also on a fun basis, so I get to know people in two areas of their lives. We're very fortunate. We had the state spelling champs last year. They had gotten first place, and we had a wonderful team. And they spell words I had never even knew existed. This year we took a different team up, and we got third place. But this is the first time for some of the people on the team. But we placed very well in the whole state of Iowa, earning third place. They competed against 9 other teams all over the state of Iowa, and we came away with a very good showing.
Well, that's good. How many people are on a team?
There's 4 people on a team with 1 alternate, and they select words every year. We have we take last year's list and we practice with them, and that kind of prepares them, gets their mind sharpened, and they spell words that, like I said, I never knew existed. Never knew existed.
How do they have to compete at different levels before they go to the state fair?
We have a county-wide spelling contest in the spring of the year with Elderfest, and that's their first preliminary bout. And there's other places in the state they can go and compete. This is on their own, and then they get to the state finals. And it's quite prestigious, and it's held in an amphitheater there. They receive trophies, and last year they received encyclopedias for first place.
Well, that's a nice gift.
So, very nice gift.
Who was on the team this year?
This year we had Harry Durand, Otto Schiller, Margaret Kretschmeyer, Lucille Davison, and then alternate was Ron Schreers.
Okay. Are all these people from the city of Muscatine?
No, these people cover the whole county of Muscatine. We have people from West Liberty and Muscatine and Wilton on the team.
Okay, that's nice. As I said before, you also take some of the trips that the commission sponsors.
Oh, that's the real nice, cushy part of the job. We have trips going all over the state of Iowa. In fact, we had just gotten, like I said, back from the state fair. We went to Dubuque to the dog races. We had a nice riverboat cruise. We have a dance coming up next Monday night at the Moose. We hire a band, and you have a catered-in meal. And it's all at a relatively low price. So we keep things within range of the seniors, so they don't have to break their budget to go somewhere. We have a trip going to Spoon River, a nice scenic trip for the fall, and hopefully the trees are going to cooperate with us.
Uh-huh.
And we've been to, we're going to go see the Cattle Congress in Waterloo. We're going to see the Stars of Lawrence Welk. We've seen cats, we've seen Wayne Newton. Try to keep the trips varied and diversified, and we have a really nice time. And I'm open to suggestions anytime. And if you have a favorite place that you've been to, I will take it into account and plan out the trip and see if it's feasible. And the Spoon River trip was a favorite of probably about 30 or 40 people that I knew of, and they asked me to do the trip again.
Again.
So, and we go to Cubs games. Every time we've gone there, they won, so we should plan a few more.
Tell us about your last Cubs game.
Oh, it was quite exciting. We went up. It was the first day after the night games, and it rained terribly. And we had to rebuy our tickets several times because they closed off Senior Citizen Day. But we have very good sports. Our seniors are just really good sports. And they rebought their tickets even at a higher cost. We went to the game and we sat in the rain for 2.5 hours. But the game was well worth it. We had a wonderful time. Had 2 home runs and 2 double plays. And 2 guys got hurt. All in one game. It
Did
was
everything
really nice.
happen in twos? You had 2 hot dogs, 2 lemonades.
I tried.
Okay.
I tried.
I understand also that you're planning a long trip this fall.
We do multiple day trips. We have a trip going to Nashville, and this is just before the Nashville Opera Fest. So you're going to see all of the players that perform in the Grand Ole Opry will be there. They have a day at Opryland, and they have a day at the Grand Ole Opry. It's a multiple day trip. We do several multiple day trips a year that allow people to get away at a discounted rate.
Well, that's good. If people are interested in taking some of these trips, how do they find out about them?
Call the Commission on Aging at 263-7292 and ask for Carolyn. And I have a docket of trips that are planned. Sometimes they change because of availability. I try to plan the trips a year in advance, and we do an advance publication so you can plan around our trips too and make sure that you can attend as many as you'd like.
I understand you're going to Circa 21 also.
Yes, in November we're going to see It's a Wonderful Life. That'll be our Christmas program show. We also have a trip to the monastery to see the Christmas lights. And there's going to be a little surprise in that trip too.
And you're not going to tell us what
No.
it is? No.
No.
Okay. Most of these trips are by chartered bus?
Chartered bus, we deal exclusively with Tri-State Tours. Very good company. We have had wonderful success with them. And very courteous drivers. We have a wonderful time.
Well, that's good. So, well, I hope that you've enjoyed listening about the Well Elderly Clinics. I hope that you've enjoyed hearing a little bit about what Carolyn does and a little bit about myself. And we want to thank Mr. Carlson for coming today. We also want to thank Bandag for being a continuing sponsor of the Well Elderly program. We hope to see you next week on Senior Citizen Presents. Thank you.
Well, maybe I was never on top of the world the way we were. Still, I don't remember ever being this low. I got by just fine before you came along, and I'd be okay again. After you